A very warm welcome to all of you. This is Business Today, your weekly business roundup brought to you exclusively on Channel I. And as you're aware, we bring you personalities representing various fields on our show. So today we have a guest, an individual representing the field of information technology, a young entrepreneur joining us. So before we meet him, let's have a look at the introduction clip.
Mr. Dhanika Perera is an award-winning serial entrepreneur and the founder of Basha, Helakuru and PayHere. He holds a bachelor's degree from University of Moratuwa in computer science and engineering. He founded his first company, Basha Lanka Private Limited, in 2011 as a digital technology company focused on creating localized consumer digital products for Sri Lankan masses, and PayHere Private Limited in 2016 as a financial technology company. He was awarded the M-Billionth South Asian Award in 2011 and M-Billionth International Award throughout the past years for their digital products. Mr. Dhanika was recognized as the Emerging Entrepreneur in 2013 by the University of Moratuwa and as the Emerging ICT Leader of the Year 2014 by Computer CSL. He was also honored as the Most Innovative ICT Entrepreneur of the Year 2015 by Sri Lanka Association of Software and Service Companies at National Best Quality Software Awards.
Yes, and he is Mr. Dhanika Perera. He is the CEO of Basha Lanka Private Limited. A very good evening to you, Dhanika.
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me here.
All right, so to start things off, you started your first company when you were an undergraduate.
Yeah.
So let's start the story from there, because it doesn't usually happen. People start getting into their own businesses after they complete studies. So let's start our conversation from there. How did this come about?
Yeah, actually, I think that all happened due to the unique passion I had. So I had this passion from my school age. My passion was about Sinhala plus software.
Okay.
In other terms, actually localized software. So for an example, even for my A-level project at school, I did a piece of software called Manavaya, which is kind of a Sinhala biological encyclopedia kind of stuff. And I recognized as the young computer scientist in 2007 for that as well. And what I did was, actually I worked continuously with on that passion, right? Okay. And even after coming into the University of Moratuwa, I worked on the same passion over and over again. And as a result, actually, when I had to do an individual project at my third year in the university, I choose to develop something, a software product in my same passion. And that actually was called Set Browser, my first innovation, and that got recognized with an international award in 2011, M-Billionth South Asian Award. And after that, what happened was, I got an industry demand for the product I made as my university project. Right. So that's where actually I decided I'll start my own company to do this deal. And that's how it started. Actually, still I consider, actually I became an entrepreneur because of an accident that happened totally due to the passion I had.
Great. And you formed Basha Lanka Private Limited in year 2011. What was your focus here and what was your business model there?
Yeah, Basha is actually a digital products company with a mission of empowering the masses, enabling them to get the use of digital solutions, ICT solutions in their own language, right? And in terms of business model, actually we wanted to offer our solutions, offer our digital innovations free of charge for the end users. So with that intention, we actually followed two business models. One is actually very similar to what you do as a TV station, right? You produce videos, you make available videos, and you made it available for the Sri Lankan TV viewers free of charge, while generating revenue through advertisers.
Right.
So that's what exactly what is our first business model. We offer our products, we offer our digital innovations free of charge for the Sri Lankan end users, while generating revenue through advertisers. And our second business model is actually called freemium, and freemium means actually a free component and a premium component. So for an example, actually Helakuru is free forever as it is as a Sinhala keyboard to type in Sinhala. But if you need to personalize your keyboard, for an example, adding a photo, background of the keyboard, or customize the font of your, font colors of your keyboard, for that you need to subscribe to Helakuru Pro, which is actually the premium version. So those are the two business models that we follow, and the important thing is both of them allow us to offer our solutions, offer our digital innovations free of charge for the end users, while actually generating revenue to scale up as a company.
All right, so how was the demand for this product? Was it accepted by the market at that time in year 2011?
Yeah, actually it was a no option situation for the market, because when I introduced Set Browser in 2011 as a solution to read Sinhala on mobile devices. If you remember 7-8 years ago, there were no Sinhala on mobile devices, right? So when I introduced that, it was a no option situation for the market. So market actually,
there wasn't a product available in the
market.
Right.
That's there were no alternatives, so we didn't have any competitors. So it was kind of a blue ocean situation for us.
Okay.
And because of that, actually we could build up a strong business and be the market leader in that business.
Okay, so how did you penetrate this into the market? What was your marketing strategy there?
Yeah, we actually use social media marketing, but
purely on social media.
Yes, purely in the first stages it was purely on social media, but right now actually we are a stable company and we use other mechanisms as well. But in terms of this particular product, Helakuru, it actually the user base of that built up virally, because it was an essential thing. Helakuru was a Helakuru fulfills a very basic need of Sri Lankan users. Right. Typing in Sinhala, typing in your mother tongue, expressing your ideas in your mother tongue. So actually it went virally, word of mouth. Right. What was actually the the biggest marketing method that worked for it.
Great. And in year 2011, when you first entered the market, what were the opportunities available? Were there strict entry barriers and strict exit barriers? How was the market like for a new entrant?
Yes. As an entrepreneur, I think the biggest barrier I faced when I enter into the market was actually the lack of motivation for entrepreneurship in our country. Right? From our school age, we are trained to actually get some educational qualification and do a job, right? Yeah. So that mindset actually affected even me, and I think it affects almost the entrepreneurs out there. So even from our families, even from our society, and even when we go to a big company with to pitch some idea, as a young entrepreneurs, they actually do not recognize us in the potential that we have. But I actually had a benefit as a graduate from University of Moratuwa. But I think as the society, we should actually encourage Sri Lankan entrepreneurs, encourage Sri Lankan products, local products. Other than that, actually we cannot encourage entrepreneurship in our country. But luckily, actually we do have millions of people, millions of Sri Lankans who love our Helakuru product. Right now actually Helakuru has passed more than 4 million downloads. So we are really proud and honored to have such a loyal user base for Helakuru.
That's indeed great news. And if you look at the current situation, do you think this situation being different from what it was in year 2011?
Yeah, actually, with compared to that time, right now actually there have been many initiatives in terms of entrepreneurship, both from private and state sectors. So those opportunities would actually motivate more people, more youngsters to be entrepreneurs. So actually I'm happy about that.
All right, so after about 6 years,
Yeah.
You have also launched a different product, and that is PayHere. We
That's
are
right.
always familiar with the word PayPal,
Yeah.
and we use PayPal, and we are very familiar with the product PayPal. But what is PayHere? What is the need that you wanted to address in the market there?
Yeah. Actually, I built my first company with the passion I had from my childhood. That is actually software plus Sinhala. From that, actually, I built up a company. I built up a product that is loved by billions of people. And today, actually, that first, our flagship product, Helakuru, is empowering more than 4 million people to write Sinhala digitally. So we are actually very proud and honored to serve that much of people in Sri Lanka. But when running that company, I also faced barriers. One major barrier was actually these payment methods, right? Accepting payments for digital solutions was actually a cumbersome thing because of the barriers that we have in terms of online payments and all that stuff. And I had another passion for these e-commerce things. For an example, few years ago, actually, I wrote a blog called Dhanika. It was a Sinhala blog, and the most popular article series was about eBay, PayPal, and all that stuff, as you mentioned, right? Now, we were really curious about that, and even I have tried all that stuff, but still, Sri Lankan businesses are not able to accept accept payments through PayPal for their businesses, right? That barrier, actually, we have Sri Lankan businesses
you can only make payments.
That's right. You can only make payments. You cannot receive payments. You cannot receive. You cannot accept payments. So we had this barrier from years and years, and we waited for this one and that one to solve that, but it never happened. So as a local entrepreneur, I thought, why we cannot do something for this, right? Why we cannot do something to solve this problem, right? So that's actually the motivation behind PayHere, and I started it in 2016, and we collaborated with many parties, many local resources like banks and telcos. We got together and came up with a local solution as an alternative to PayPal, as an alternative to accept online payments for Sri Lankan businesses, and that's how actually PayHere started in 2016.
Right, so introducing such a product to the local market is not at all an easy task. You got to have a lot of resources, knowledge, time, energy, all that, and most of all, you have to come over the regulatory barriers. So how difficult was it for you to introduce this product into the market?
Yeah, the thing is, actually, there are some things that in terms of the technology that we can do something to change the ecosystem, we can do something to solve the problems, but even though we can do those things technologically, sometimes the other areas will not support those changes that much. So that type of a situation, actually, I had to went through when I introduced PayHere in 2016. We were operational for a few months, serving hundreds of merchants to accept payments online. But due to some barrier, we had to actually stop our service about a period of 1 year. And somehow, actually, after 1 year, I could come back with the regulatory approval, and in 2018, this year, on March 1st, we relaunched PayHere service with the regulatory approval and with strong bank partnerships. And right now, actually, today, I'm proud to say that we are being the first ever non-bank multi-channel payment service provider in Sri Lanka, serving hundreds of merchants.
All right, it's indeed lovely news to hear, and you stepped into this industry in year 2011 and it's been 7 years from then. So can you talk about the progress your business has made so far?
Yeah, actually Basha, if I talk about Basha again, Basha actually started the business as a product company, starting from a university project, as I mentioned on the very first. Set browser, which I innovated as my university project, was actually our first product in Basha, and we had our first customer. Our first customer was actually Etisalat, and the second customer was Dialog. So we were a bootstrap from the day one, because we were profitable from the day one. So but with the time, actually we converted it a little bit to a hybrid company, producing products as well as offering services. So in terms of services, actually we have served many reputed organizations in Sri Lanka, starting from the Parliament of Sri Lanka. Rupahini Corporation is also one of our clients, and most of the media companies, most of the banks, we are the mobile technology provider for them. And in terms of global market, we are today a strategic partner of Google as well. So with that, actually we offered services actually just to scale up as a company, because when I started Basha, while I was an undergraduate, it was a totally virtual company. I didn't have an office, right? I didn't have any place to work. So it was just a virtual company. But when I passed out from the university, I opened an office for Basha in Kaluthura, my hometown, and we needed to scale the company, so we offered services as well. But right now in 2018, we again pivoted our company as a total solely a product company, and right now we are only based on the product business. We go as a digital product company. And right now actually we focus on three main areas. One thing is actually the localization technology, which our flagship product is Helakuru is serving, and also financial technology, fintech, which is PayHere is serving. PayHere is actually my second company, but it goes under Basha. And the third sector is actually educational technology, EdTech, which goes under Hapan, which is another product of us. So that's actually how we have progressed over the time. With Basha and PayHere, actually I am planning to execute more stuff and innovate more products to Sri Lankan masses in future as well.
Right. So any incidents that you could recall where you failed and you really wanted to give up, but then again you did not give up and you kept moving forward? Yeah,
I think for an entrepreneur, the most barrier or the most challenge is actually the barriers that are out of your control, right? Now, as an entrepreneur, I am actually an aggressive executor. I mean, when an idea comes to my mind, actually I execute it really fast and I make it into a real world product as fast as possible. But sometimes actually, even though we can make changes, we can do revolutions in the society with digital innovations, digital products, sometimes the other sectors like legal, regulatory and all that doesn't support in the same phase. So in that case actually, we have to wait. The most actually difficult thing for an aggressive executor is, I think, waiting for something that you don't have the control. So that was actually the biggest barrier when I felt actually the give up level, but still I exist because I didn't give up.
Right. So in order to expand this industry and in order to progress in this industry, what are the measures that you think should be in place and what are the measures that are in place right now?
Yeah, I think ICT industry or digital technology industry is an industry that is rapidly growing and evolving, right? In terms of technologies, the technology that you have had yesterday is actually not the technology that you will have tomorrow, right? Every year, every day, the technology is evolving, right? So as a country, we can do amazing things with this technology, right? With this technology, we can do amazing things to make people's life easy, to make the society better, and all that stuff, empower the people, all that stuff. But if actually the circumstances like I mean policies, rules, regulations doesn't evolve in the same pace, I mean those two will not be compatible, and that will not be beneficial for the society. So I think, I mean for the growth of this industry, I think those sectors also should evolve in the same pace, so that they can be supportive for the growth and the changes and the impact, social impact that this industry can make to the country.
Right. So for any industry to grow further, you have to have a skilled labor force, a specialized labor force. So do you think we have the adequate resources in the market, and do you think we have the skills that we require available in the market right now?
Of course I do. Because I think in terms of the skills, in terms of actually the resources, it's not actually always the quantity that matters, right? What I believe is the quality or the capacity of the people is what matters. For an example, actually this Helakuru product which actually now serve millions of people, I built this product with a team of actually about 7 people for until very recently, right? Okay. Now it was just 7 Sri Lankan engineers who contributed to this massive product, right? And even this PayHere, which actually solves a critical problem, critical barrier in terms of the business sector in Sri Lanka, the team was actually about 5 people, right? So it is not actually always the quantity that matters in terms of the resources and skills, but the capacity of the people. If the capacity of the people is I mean amazingly high, I mean you don't have to worry about the quantity. So I strongly believe that Sri Lanka have the adequate skills, adequate resources, not in terms of the quantity, but in terms of the quality and the capacity.
Right. So you just mentioned that we've got a talent pool.
Yes.
And we also have a demand in the market. But what is this gap here? How can they contribute to this industry? Do you see any gaps in the market in order to move forward?
Yeah, in terms of gaps, actually now we need more entrepreneurs. What I believe is actually now if it is only the current industry, current companies, current business entities that will serve the market, actually there can be a gap. But we can reduce that gap by making more entrepreneurs and allowing them, supporting them to build new businesses, which will make available new opportunities for that skills.
All right. So for all those people out there who would want to enter into the market, what is your advice to all of them?
Yeah. My advice includes 3 components, that is passion, persistence and perseverance. Now if you want to be an entrepreneur, you should identify the unique passion in you, right? All of you have a unique passion in your life, so you should identify the passion and work on that passion. If you are working on your own thing without passion, you will just be a businessman, not actually a real entrepreneur, right? So you need to find out your passion first, and then when you're working on your passion, there will be many discouragements come. In and out, there will be many discouragements come. So you should believe in yourself and work on your passion whatever happens. So that means you should have the persistence. And when you persist working on your passion, there will definitely be challenges comes, right? It can be technological challenges, regulatory challenges, financial challenges, market challenges, competitor challenges, many challenges will come. When you build up a company, when you build up a product, many challenges will come. So you need to work on continuously until you achieve success to reach the level, right? That is actually perseverance. You need to continuously work on the same thing until you reach the success. So if you have these 3 things, passion, persistence and perseverance, you can definitely be a successful entrepreneur.
All right. Thank you very much, Dhanika, for being with us today, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.